Aloha, aloha. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for taking the time to watch this video. My name is Brent from outsource.com. This is your daily cash flow video game where the way we win is we either land on the dream of choosing gift of faith, or you can accumulate $50,000 of passive income out here on the fast track. But before you get to the fast track, you got to get out of the rat race. The way you get out of the rat race is by accumulating more passive income, by buying up these green opportunities. Then you have monthly expenses. Today, while we're playing, we're going to listen to Become a Sales Superstar by Tracy.
Your goal as a sales professional is to sell the very most and earn the very most that you possibly can. As it turns out, it takes just as long to become a sales superstar as to remain an average performer. The choice is up to you. Your host for this program, Tracy, knows what he's talking about. Brian has been in sales for more than 30 years and still makes sales calls and presentations today. Brian started off from a poor home, didn't graduate from high school, and worked at laboring jobs before getting into sales. He struggled along in sales, working on straight commission, until he did something that changed his life and his career. He started asking other successful salespeople what they were doing that was different from him, and they told him, and he did what they were doing, and his sales went up. From then on, Brian has made a lifelong study of the most successful salespeople and the most effective sales techniques. They took him from rags to riches, and you can do the same. In this program, Brian shares with you 21 of the most powerful ideas ever discovered in sales effectiveness. When you start using them, you'll move to the top of your field. And now, here's Brian Tracy. This is Brian Tracy, and welcome to this program. This is the best time in all of human history to be alive, especially in the profession of selling. There have never been more opportunities for you to achieve more of your goals and enjoy a higher standard than exists in our marketplace. And if anything, your situation is going to get better and better in the months and years ahead. As our society becomes more and more high-tech, it will require more and more high-touch in the field of selling to balance that. And the better you get at selling, the more opportunities you will have. According to recent research, 45% of self-made millionaires in America are salespeople who have sold for another company or company all their lives. The reason they are successful is because they became very, very good at selling and earned a very high income. They then saved and invested a substantial part of that as they went along. And so do you. Let me tell you my own story. I started off poor. My parents never had any money. My father worked as a carpenter, not always full-time, and my mother worked as a nurse. I didn't graduate from high school. In fact, I was so badly behaved in high school that I was expelled or suspended 3 or 4 times. When I started off, after I got out of school, the only work I could get was a laboring job. I washed dishes in the back of a small hotel. I worked in a sawmill stacking boards. I worked on a farm digging wells. I worked on construction as a laborer carrying construction materials from place to place. I worked on farms and ranches. I worked on a ship in the North Atlantic. And finally, when I couldn't get a laboring job, I drifted into straight commission sales. I wasn't afraid to work, but hard work didn't seem to be enough. I made hundreds of calls without making any sales. I used to run from office to office and from door to door so that I could see more people. But I was just barely hanging on by my fingernails. And then one day I began to ask, why is it that some salespeople are more successful than others? I heard that the top 20% of salespeople in every field earned 80% of the money. The top 10% earn even more. So I did something that changed my life. I went to the top salesman in my company and I asked him what he was doing differently from me. And he told me how to ask questions and how to develop a sales sales presentation. He told me how to respond to common objections and how to ask for work. And I went out and did what he told me to do, and my sales went up. And then I heard about books on selling. I began to read 1 and 2 hours every morning before I started out, and my sales went up even more. And then I heard about audio programs and sales seminars, and as I listened to more audio programs and attended more seminars, I learned what the best salespeople had taken years to learn, and my sales went up and up and up. In less than 1 year, I went from shuffling from door to door, making 1 or 2 small sales per week, to managing a 6-country sales organization, thousands of dollars a month. And all I really did was to find out how other top salespeople sold, and then I did the same thing until I got the same result. And so did you. The great law of human destiny, especially in sales, is the law of cause and effect. And this law says that if there is an effect that you want in your life, you can find someone else who has also achieved that effect, and then find out what they did to get it. And then if you do the same things, you will eventually get the same result. This is exactly how you have gone from failure to success in every field of life throughout history. The most important application of the law of cause and effect is this: thoughts are causes, and conditions are effects. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. You invariably attract into your life the people, circumstances, opportunities, and even sales that are in harmony with your dominant thoughts. Perhaps the most important discovery in human history, the foundation of all religions, philosophies, metaphysics, and psychology, is this: that you become what you think about most of the time. Just think. You become what you think about most of the time. It's only you can decide what it is you think about. Only you can decide what really happens to you in life. Over the last 25 years, more than 250,000 salespeople have been interviewed to find out what it is that they think about most of the time. Then their incomes have been compared with their thought patterns to determine what lives go along with their highest incomes. And you know what the top salespeople think about most of the time? It's simple. They think about what they want and how to get it. They think and talk all day long about their goals and how to achieve their goals. And because the more you think about your goals, the more positive and enthusiastic you become. These salespeople seem to sell 5 and 10 and 20 times as much as the average salesperson who thinks about his or her problems most of the time. Here's the rule. If you think like the top salespeople think, you eventually get the same result that the top salespeople get. Some salespeople are satisfied earning $25,000 a year. Other salespeople would be dissatisfied if their income dropped below $100,000 a year. And here's an interesting fact. There's no real difference between the people who are earning a small amount and the people who are earning a huge amount. They have very much the same level of talent or ability. They're surrounded with very much the same number of opportunities and possibilities. The only difference is that the highest earning salespeople have decided to earn that amount. The only question they ask all day long is the question, how? The most important single quality for great success in selling is the quality of optimism. Top salespeople are far more optimistic than average people. As a result, they make far more calls on far more prospects because they have an optimistic, even unrealistic expectation of success. And in addition, they call back far more often on prospects because of this optimistic expectation of success. As a result of calling on more people and calling back more often, they make far more sales. When they make more sales, this reinforces their belief in making more calls and calling back more often. It becomes a self-perpetuating feedback loop that leads them higher and higher in income great success. And this can happen to you when you follow the 21 steps we'll talk about in the pages ahead. There's a direct relationship between your self-esteem, how much you like yourself, and how well you do in sales. The highest paid, most successful salespeople have the highest levels of self-esteem. And every time you say the words, I like myself, I like myself, I like myself, your self-esteem goes up. And the more you like yourself, the better you do. The better you do, the more you like yourself. Mental fitness is like physical fitness. If you do certain mental exercises every day, you will soon have high levels of self-esteem, optimism, and a positive mental attitude. As you like yourself more, you will like other people more. When you like your prospects more, they like you more, and they want to buy from you and recommend you to their friends. And everything that I'm telling you here has been thoroughly validated by exhaustive research over the past 50 years. The starting point of great success is for you to begin to think the way the top salespeople think. As it happens, each time you think the way a top salesperson thinks, your level of self-esteem goes up. You like yourself more. You become more optimistic and creative. You become more happy and effective. You have more energy and determination. You make more calls and better presentations. You make more sales and you make more money. Your whole life opens up for you like a summer sunrise when you develop and practice the characteristics and qualities of top salespeople. Let's begin. The first key to peak performance selling is ambition. This is so important that you could stop the tape right here and you could go out and be a big success if you could just develop high levels of ambition. Ambitious people see themselves as capable of being the best. They know that the top 20% of salespeople make 80% of the sales, and they are determined to be among that top. Ambitious salespeople are optimistic about their chances and possibilities. They're absolutely convinced that they can achieve their goals by selling lots and lots of their products and services, and they're completely determined to do it. Perhaps the most important first step you take in the field of selling is to make a commitment to excellence. Make a commitment to be the best in your field. Resolve today that you are going to join the top 10% in your industry in terms of earnings. Now here's something that changed my life when I was 28 years old. After going around in circles for years, it suddenly hit me. Everyone in the top 10% today started in the bottom 10%. Everyone who is doing well today was once doing poorly. Everybody who is at the front of the line of life started at the back of the line. Now, let me ask you something. How do you get to the front of the buffet line of life where all the good stuff is waiting for you? And the answer is simple. It consists of 2 steps. First, get in line. It's absolutely amazing the number of people who want to get to the front of the line of life and admire all the people who are already at the front of the line of life, but they don't get up and get in line themselves. And the second step you have to make is to stay in line. Once you have decided to be the best in your field, get in line and stay in line. Keep putting one foot in front of the other. Keep developing one new skill and ability each day, each week, each month. That moves you forward. And as sure as God made little green apples, you are going to get to the front of the line in your profession. There is nothing in the world that can stop you from becoming one of the best and highest paid people in sales if you will just get in line and stay in line. Here is the turning point in your life. Make a decision. I was absolutely amazed when I discovered this many years ago.